Peace, this is Mr. Moore from Trialpreneur Sports Podcast, back with another video. So I just want to get my reaction to the Alabama versus Tennessee game last night. Tennessee went on to win 24-17. You can see I had to take a deep sigh as an Alabama fan. This is another devastating, crushing loss. Hard to watch. Shout out to everyone I was listening to last night, the channels and the guys that I really respect. I'm going to mention them. I'll probably leave their channels in the comment section as well, too. Make sure y'all go follow them if you haven't already. Shout out to Coach Smoot. Shout out to Coach Son with Just My Humble Opinion. Shout out to Jance, Coach Jance at Jance Sports. And shout out to Ty Hayes at Around the Table Sports. I agree with a lot of what all those guys were saying last night when I did listen to them. But I'm going to give my take on not necessarily the game, because the game was the game, is Coach DeBoer and leadership and culture with Alabama football. I watched his post-game conference, post-game interview conference, and he mentioned not being able to get over the hump. And as a sports fan, as an Alabama fan, that's not necessarily something that you want to hear. And I think the word that he was trying to find or use was not being able to finish. And that's something that through 7 games of watching Alabama football, they haven't been able to finish games or put a complete 60 minutes, 4 quarters of football together. You've seen them play tremendous in the first half of the Georgia game. I'm talking about, I was there, I witnessed it. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, like how great we looked in that first half. And I was like, man, if we could play like this the rest of the year, there is nobody that could beat us. Ever since then, that second half, us losing the lead, coming back, winning the game, it's been downhill since then. Vanderbilt, don't even want to talk about it. South Carolina, Tennessee, it's been more of the same. And I think Coach DeBoer is great. I think he's going to be great. But it's time for him to grab this program by the horns and be the leader. I know he's always mentioned this needs to be a player-led team, not in this situation. You are the head coach. You're going to have to take leadership of this program. The lack of leadership from the players, I felt this team would have been more cohesive, more together, even with the coaching changes. You had guys like Jalen Milroe coming back and staying, Tyler Booker, Deontay Lawson, Malachi Moore, your Tim Keenans, all the veteran guys who's been around for a while, Tim Smith. And I get it, they played under Coach Saban, so their mentality is a little different. They may have been used to doing things a certain way, but I think Coach DeBoer, at least in my opinion, probably didn't want to ruffle, too many people's feathers and come in and rule with an iron fist, because he didn't want to lose some of those guys. But I think that's what needs to happen. There's no accountability. This team is one of the worst, most undisciplined teams I ever seen play at Alabama. And it's been happening, and this was happening during Coach Saban as well, too. But it's been a continuation of that, and it's been a continuation from some of the guys who've been at Alabama, even when playing under Coach Saban. So, I mean, I know people mention the Bama standard. Coach DeBoer has to establish a new standard at Alabama. He's not Nick Saban. Saban had his standard. He has to establish his standard. And it may take a couple years for him to get his guys, his recruits, maybe even coaches, for him to establish his version of what the Alabama standard should be. I mean, I love Coach Saban. He can't be Nick Saban. He has to be him. He has to lead his way. And it just may take a little bit more time than I anticipated. I thought this team, as talented as it was going to have a huge season, like I said, with the leadership that was coming back, and with Coach DeBoer and the coaches, the style of offense that he was going to implement, or at least I thought he would, which I still have yet to see that from him. It's been disappointing. It has been. As far as this team making the playoffs, I'm not sure, because as of right now, I don't see us making the playoffs. I mean, I don't even really think that should even be discussed right now. It should be just trying to get better and just figure out an identity. Just go back to the drawing board and establish an identity and just finish the season out strong. And whatever happens, as far as other teams, losing or winning, that just happens. Like, you can't control that. You can only control what you control, and that should be the message moving forward. As far as the actual game, Jalen Milroe, I think it's time that we possibly may need to look at Ty Simpson moving forward, or at least get him a shot against Missouri. Jalen Milroe, ever since the first half, he's regressed ever since the first half of Georgia game. He's kind of regressed a little bit. I don't know if he's banged up or injured. He just doesn't look like the same Jalen Milroe. I watch body language. I look in people's eyes, and I kind of try to see. He doesn't look like the same quarterback. I'm not sure, like I say, if he's nursing an injury. Is he frustrated with the play calling? Is he not seeing? It's a lot of factors that go into why he isn't performing the way that he's capable of performing. And he has to take accountability for that and be better. The team, and also another thing, making Ryan Williams the focal point of this offense has backfired. Ryan Williams is, like everybody knows, he's only 17 years old. He's going to be around for the next 2 years. There's no need to make him the guy. Yes, we've had number one receivers over the past few years, but we also have had other guys who are capable of making plays. That's what made the offense great, particularly when Tua was playing. You had Devontae, you had Ruggs, you had Judy, you had Waddle. You could not double cover any of those guys because we had so many weapons to where you couldn't just focus on one guy. He can't be the focal point of the offense, and I think that's backfired. I've never seen an Alabama receiver get targeted that much in one game. There's NFL wide receivers playing on Sundays who are number one guys who don't get that many targets in the game. Like, I was shocked. I'm not sure why that is. Why it was frustrating to watch. Like I said, I get it. He's great, and I love him. He's gonna be great, but we can't just force feed him the football. We have to find other ways to get guys involved, even if that's using Ryan as a decoy on offense. Still, the running game is still non-existent. We show flashes of it, but we went away from it. Nick Sheridan has still yet to, like I said, outside the first half of the Georgia game, been able to get in a rhythm when it comes to play calling. He goes away from certain things. I think it's time for Kalen DeBoer to take over the play calling of that offense, or maybe give Jamarcus Shepard a look, wide receiver coach. We need something else. Defensively, I think defensively played well. I still think there was a few mistakes made, a lot of penalties. That holding call or pass interference call on Damani Jackson on third down was crucial. We got to stop. And those are the penalties, those are backbreakers, us not being able to get off the field on third down due to penalties. We played a lot better on defense, but not being able to capitalize on the turnovers we created was definitely a backbreaker, and that falls on the offense. But like I said, it was hard to watch. Like I said, I'm moving forward. I'll be watching to see the leadership and how they respond. And so far, they haven't responded well to adversity. And I hope the wheels doesn't fall off the rest of this season, and they could just show some type of fight, some type of emotion, some type of passion to at least right this season and make the best of it, and not have guys hit the transfer portal or use their red shirts, because all those things can go through a player's head at a time like this when they face adversity, because a lot of them haven't faced this type of adversity since they've been at Alabama. So you hate to see some of those things happen. Like I said, we've had Jaheim Otis already hit the transfer portal, but again, I'm an Alabama fan. Regardless, win or lose, I still have faith in this team, but there definitely needs to be some type of shakeup. Like I said, Coach DeBoer, grab this team by the horns, lead this team, and Hopefully everyone else follows. But those just my thoughts. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. I'll catch you guys later. Take care. Peace.